Well, hello Dietz art students, it's Mr. Lightbody here. We're doing a video demo on the steps required to be able to make a paper box like this. This one's a two-color box. Right now we're just starting with copy paper. I'm using yellow paper so it'll show up better on camera, but hopefully once you learn how to do the fold with the copy paper, we'll be able to get you some colored paper to use. We'll see what colors are available when we get there. So what I'm starting with here is an 8x8 square. I cut it out on the cutting board. Cutting board cuts are never perfect, but it should be good enough for what we're doing. What we're making is a paper box. It's not a pure origami thing because we will be using our handy dandy scissors a little later on. So to start with, I'm going to fold my square in half. And these early steps, boy, do we want to get them perfect. So the most important thing is to try to get these corners lined up and make sure they're parallel here, top and the bottom, or that they line up on the top and the bottom. So now I want to get a nice sharp crease. I want that fold nice and crispy, and I'm going to open it up here and flip it over. There we go. Nice. Open up your square and you should have a line that goes vertically through the center. I'm going to do the same thing as before. We're just going to flip it the other way and we'll make a horizontal fold. And we want to get this thing to line up. And by doing this, we are dividing our square into 4 smaller squares. Get a nice sharp crease. There we go. We'll reverse this thing. And I don't expect anybody to necessarily get this on the first try. It may take a few experiences and failure and trial and error before we all achieve success, but I believe in you. We can get this done. All right, so now what I can do is something that you don't need to do. I'm just doing this so that it'll show up on screen a little better. I'm going to make a dot in the center of my square where these horizontal and vertical lines meet in the center. And it's going to be kind of like a bullseye. I'm going to take my corners and I'm going to aim for that dot. I want this corner, or this edge, meeting at that corner, to line up with this horizontal line. I want this line here to line up with the vertical line in the center as best I can. I don't expect total perfection because this square was hand cut. It was not cut by a paper cutting robot. All right, pretty good. So I'm going to flip that around and do this again. Get a nice sharp crease. Reminds me of when I used to wear slacks to work and I had to get them nice and crispy. Didn't want to have wrinkles. All right. Or sometimes you have to take them into the, some pants you take them into the dry cleaners. All right, so let's see what I got now. Kind of looks like I'm making an airplane, but it's not paper airplane day. I'm going to keep folding. If I'm going too fast for you, don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. If you remember, check your number 5. Accept imperfection. You don't have to get everything right on the first try. Nice sharp crease. And I'll fold again. And it kind of looks like I got an envelope there. Bring that top of the envelope down towards that bullseye. And probably went a little too far. There. Just my hands are getting dry. All right. There we have it. I made a square. Smaller than my original square. Or is it the same size? What do we say? We open it up. It's a smaller square, see? the square inside the square. So now I find it helpful to turn this thing sideways. It doesn't really matter. You're going to take one of the sides, doesn't matter which one because they're all the same, and you're going to fold inward, and you're aiming for that dot. You're bringing this paper over so the top and the bottom are going to line up with the bottom and the top of your paper. I've heard this fold referred to as the enchilada fold. Kind of looks like a enchilada right there. Again, I want to get that nice and crispy, and I'll flip it around and I'll roll the other enchilada up. And they're a little bit crooked. Last time I had enchiladas, I did spill them on my shirt. That was awkward. There we go. Now let's see what we got here. I can open up my enchiladas now. And you may or may not have this flap that follows you along. That doesn't really matter if it's stuck there or if it's over there. Doesn't matter so much. There's our dot in the middle. And now I'm going to do something again with the pen that you don't need to do. So that crease there might not show up very well on camera. So I'm going to draw a line to show you where I'm going to make a cut. And so I drew the line from the bottom here to where the flap ends right there. And I'll do the same thing over here. And this is just for you to see better on the screen. And I'll flip that over. We'll be doing this on both sides. We're at the 7-minute mark on the video. It's probably going to be at least a 2-day project to learn how to do these. I get my handy dandy scissors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut along the line. I don't want to cut too far. I don't want to snip any of that triangle there. Might help to just pull it out of the way. And I'm going to cut. And cut. Flip it around. Cut. Okay. Let's see what I do now. I'm going to make the side of the box stand up in just a moment. So I'm going to pull this flap forward, and you got these triangular pieces, and I'll pull them down. Watch this. At this point, it'd be best to get that flap down and that flap down. And you got this piece here where I did the cut, and this is going to be making the corner of the box. This spot right here is going to be the corner of the box. So we want to make a 90-degree angle there. And the way I do it is I pull it down to where I did my cut. And I want this side to be lined up to the top. I don't want to pull down past my cut. If you cut too far, just try to make your fold go down to where you were supposed to have stopped. And I want to get that side lined up there. Again, what we did was we pulled these flaps down, and now I'll bring these sides up. This is going to be the sides of my box, and you can see it's going to be the corner. You can just stick those flaps together like that. That's going to be the side of our box. This is going to come up and keep those nice and tight. And this flap will come over the top, and then you just squeeze in here and kind of press down with your thumb, and you can kind of pinch, push down, pinch and squeeze right there, and your box will start to take shape. It's a little tricky. I got a bad corner right there. I must have cut too far, but it'll work for our demo purposes. I can poke down there to get the box more stable and box-like. So I got the one side of my box done over here with the corners, and I'll do the other side. So I got that flap that's down here now. Maybe yours was already out there, but we're going to do the same thing over here. This is a slightly different angle. I'll take my side of the box, I'll pull it in, and I don't want to go past where that cut was, and I want it to make a 90-degree angle here, so I want that to go straight out, like a 90-degree angle right there in the corner. Nice square corner, looking good. And I'll do the same thing over here. I find it easier to hold it this way and see if I go like this, I've gone too far in. If I'm like that, it's too far out. I want to make a 90-degree angle, just get that to line up nicely. And bring those out. Bring that flap over. Squeeze it. And I got my half of a box. So what I can do with it is combine it with my other half of the box, and one of them is going to be a little bit bigger than the other, and that'll be the lid. So there you have it. Now these were cut with 8-inch squares. Now if I was going to cut from 7-inch squares, or cut some 7-inch squares to make a box, that would give me a smaller box. So see, these boxes were made with 8-inch squares. Oh, here's a note, friend, from when we were making those You Matter cards. It's still there. Such a durable word, friend. All right, so I'll go ahead and open this box, and look, I've got another box inside of there, slightly smaller. These were made from 7-inch squares. I wonder if there's another box inside of here. Oh, look at that. There sure is. So you can keep going smaller and smaller on these things. So I got a 8-inch square to start with, 7-inch square, 6-inch square, and they shrink down. So if I was going to make another one of these, I could make one with the 5-inch square and just work my way smaller and smaller until I have some nesting dolls here. Anyway, it's just one of the many things we can do with these simple origami style boxes. Again, I don't expect you to get this on the first try. We can watch this video as many times as we need. Plus, some of your neighbors are going to be experts at this before too long, and you might find benefit in getting a helping hand from a neighbor. All right. Hope I didn't have to shush you too many times during the video. I hope you were an attentive and alert audience, and that you followed along and were quiet enough for the people around you to focus. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.